Today I'm going to make my favorite grilled chicken sandwich, and I'm going to show you all of my secrets. Hi, I'm Ryan from the Grill Top Experience, and red meat is really hard to find or it's pretty expensive, and that's why I came up with this chicken recipe that'll please even the most particular red meat lovers. When it comes to meat choice, don't grab for the chicken breast because they're probably going to end up being dry and bland. But if you remember that fat means flavor and grab for the boneless, skinless chicken thighs, you're going to be a lot better off. Boneless, skinless chicken thighs are great, but they can usually benefit from some trimming, so cut off any big chunks of fat that you or your guests don't want to bite into. Next, grab a hammer or a heavy-bottom skillet and pound the chicken thighs until they're about a half an inch thick. This tenderizes the meat, but more importantly, it helps it cook more evenly. The special marinade only has 2 ingredients, 1/2 cup of plain yogurt and a half a teaspoon of salt per pound of meat. Now, it sounds really simple, but the lactic acid in the yogurt will break down and tenderize the chicken, helping it to retain moisture and making it extra juicy. I borrowed this idea from tandoori chicken, and it helps you get the perfect bite out of your sandwich. With all the chicken thighs pounded and the marinade made, it's time to put it all together. It's going to look a lot like a meat lasagna when we're done. So put a bit of yogurt in the container, then add a piece of meat. Add some more yogurt and alternate between yogurt and meat until all the pieces are gone. Cover it up and shake it to make sure that everything is coated. Then put it in the refrigerator for 2 to 4 hours. When it comes to setting up your grill, you're going to want a hot side and a cold side. So that way, if your chicken gets too hot and starts to burn, you can move it over and still save it and make it something that's good for dinner. Let me show you how you do that with the charcoal in the kettle. Okay, so it's not exactly rocket surgery. All you do is ramp up the coals on one side. I like to have them thicker on the edge and thinner towards the center. That gives you a bit of variance in the heat so you can always get it just right. If you want to add any wood chips for extra flavor, now is a good time to do it. The smoke has settled down and I rinsed all of the yogurt off the chicken and patted it dry. This will make it easier to get a bit of char for that added flavor that we all crave. I put the chicken directly over the coals for the first 5 minutes or so of the cook. Once they've browned, it's time to flip them over and get the other side. With a few minutes to go, it's also a great time to add some cheese if you want it on your sandwich. I'm using provolone, but I'm also a big fan of pepper jack. Once the chicken thighs have reached 170 degrees Fahrenheit in the thickest part, they are done and perfect. And that's a little bit higher than you would normally go with chicken, but with dark meat, it's always a good idea to keep it safe. Then set them off to the cool side while the other pieces finish and get to the right temperature. And I didn't add any seasoning before because I didn't want to burn it over the fire, so I added salt, pepper, and garlic to taste. Don't forget to toast the buns, which is exciting because they go from done to burnt in about 10 seconds. These ones came out perfect. Use your favorite sauce, but my preference is a bit of Kewpie mayo, which amps up the umami with a bit of dashi. Then I add some sweet mustard barbecue sauce and mix it all together. Add the chicken and whatever toppings you like. Today I'm going to keep it simple with lettuce and tomato, but you can go wild and put bacon or any other toppings that you think would be good. So I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that is to give it the taste test. So the chicken was cooked perfectly, and you can tell that the yogurt tenderized it. The biggest benefit is when you bite into it, you don't get a big chunk of chicken, you just get a bite. So this one is definitely going to come to a barbecue really soon. If you've watched this far, you deserve to know why I don't eat on camera. There it is.